All right, good morning, everybody. We'll give it a few moments before we kick off our Ameritas webinar. Let people come in from the waiting room. Hope everybody's having a great day thus far. Friday Eve.
Valentine's Day Eve.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah,
Reminder for
Valentine's.
everyone out there. Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget all you guys out there.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll get us kicked off with some opening comments, and then I'll turn it over to Chad. But we have a great webinar this morning, where we have the honor and privilege to have Chad Knies from Ameritas join us to go over some great content over some dental vision products, some resources that are valuable to you as an agent, and we'll touch on those as we get into this presentation. Just note that everybody on this webinar will be muted, so if you could direct your questions to chat, the Q&A chat, we'll be monitoring that throughout this webinar and answering those, and then we can also address any additional questions at the end of the presentation as well. I'll also be covering SMS's proprietary Quote Dental quoting and enrollment tool for dental products a little bit later. So stick around to see what that looks like and how you can get access to that. But without further ado, I'll let Chad take over and go into his presentation. Thanks for joining, Chad.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. Thanks for opportunity to be here today. Thanks for everybody that's joining in. And thank you to Senior Market Sales for the partnership. So happy to say that once again in 2024, SMS was our leading distributor for individual dental and vision. So thanks to all of you, everyone at SMS, all of the agents out there doing business and partnered with us. We absolutely and truly do appreciate it. So
Yeah, thanks, Chad.
with today, yeah, no, you bet. Thank you again, as always. So there's both Brian and I on your screen in picture and I guess live on camera. This is my contact information. So anyone that wants to grab that, just please keep me as contact for anything at all you need at Ameritas, anything I can try and do or help with or support. Again, I'm Chad Knies, Regional Managing Director for our individual dental and vision plans. My phone number is 317-538-3055, chad.knies@ameritas.com. And that is a mobile, so feel free to call it, text it if you have questions. Again, just however I might be able to support you and your business. So today, this is a little bit of our agenda, cover some of the Ameritas highlights. We'll review the dental and vision portfolios, and then talk, as Brian mentioned, about some of those resources that are available to you to help kind of market and support your dental business. Now, I will say this, we'll cover plans. I don't know that anyone's going to necessarily walk away from here today a dental expert. Many of you I know already are. If you're new to Ameritas, getting to know us, if you don't come away with that dental expertise, don't worry about it. That's what we're here for at Ameritas. That's what your partners at SMS are there for as well, to kind of help with any additional questions you have, or again, anything you need. So with that, I'll jump in here and share some of the good news. Ameritas, by a couple of independent parties, was ranked last year as some of the best dental insurance in the industry. CNN underscored ranked us as one of the best dental insurance companies in 2024. Forbes Advisor, for the second straight year, ranked Ameritas as the best dental insurance for seniors. That's our Prime Star Complete, and one of the plans that we'll discuss and we'll talk about here today. Now, a few of those things that help set us apart, and a lot of these still unique to Ameritas, it's next day coverage. That means you can enroll a client today for coverage that starts as soon as tomorrow. And that's always important, right? Because most clients want to go to the dentist whenever they've got a problem. So a tooth is hurting, they know they need to get in, they need a checkup or whatever it might be. So you've got that kind of flexibility to be able to sign them up as soon as tomorrow, or even push that out as much as 90 days. There are no waiting periods on preventive, basic, or major services. There is one state exception to that, it's Washington. But again, everywhere else, no waiting periods. We also offer credit for prior coverage. We'll go deeper on that, what it looks like, but just know it's available on all of our plans that we're going to review here today, with really only 3 state exceptions. Our rates, they're based on zip code, not area, so or not age or gender, anything like that. So that means the price for an 18-year-old is the same as an 88-year-old. And those are some of our ages as well. You got to be at least 18 to own a policy. Of course, we can include younger children as dependents, and there is no max issue age. We also offer additional benefits, things like teeth whitening, orthodontia, and hearing care on one of the plans that we'll talk about here as well. So here's the credit for prior coverage. And Ameritas, we had this now for, I guess, going on a couple of years. I should know the specific, but it's been a great feature and a great benefit for your clients. It's available whenever you're replacing a fully insured group or individual dental plan. And there's really 2 qualifications for it. The plan has to have been in place for at least 12 consecutive months with no more than 60-day gap from the start of the Ameritas plan. So someone retired as of January 1st, they've had coverage at their company for, say, at least 12 months, and they want to enroll at Ameritas. As long as they do it within that 60-day period, they jump right into our plan at the highest level of coinsurance. So that's a really big deal and a really big benefit for your client. And you'll see what that looks like specifically on some of the plans as we go about. The only thing we really need to do to qualify it, we'll look for the prior carrier's name, the policy number, and the termination date of that coverage. It's all on your online enrollment tool. There's nothing else you need to fax us, send us, anything like that. Give us that information during the application, and again, your client will automatically be bumped to those higher levels of coinsurance. And as mentioned, really just not approved in 3 states, New Mexico, New York, or Washington. I should also point out, there's only 1 state in which we don't currently do business. That's Massachusetts. So plans available for you, no matter where you're joining in from today, 49 states, and credit for prior coverage in all but the 3 we've listed here. Now, at Ameritas, we offer a handful of plans that we'll talk about. SMS has a couple of their own private label options. But we're first going to start with our Prime Star, and that's kind of the shelf product, if you will, kind of the base plans and products at Ameritas. There's Prime Star Lite, Boost, and Complete. And each plan was kind of built with maybe a little bit of a different client in mind. They have different price points. They have different benefits. Now, the Prime Star Lite was kind of originally built with someone just looking for basic coverage, right? I want to go in, I want to do my cleanings, I might have a cavity here and there, but overall, pretty healthy mouth, just looking for more affordable coverage. What we found, there's a lot of seniors that really now like this plan, and they use it maybe to supplement other dental that they might have. I've got some on this plan, don't know that it's enough, or I want my own standalone dental option. So a lot of people have kind of geared to or chosen this product as a result. The Prime Star Lite, usually, remember, we're zip code based, so it's going to come in maybe around $22, $23, $24, depending upon your zip code. And here's kind of what you end up with. It's $750 day 1 or first year, better way of saying that. And then it's $1,500 after this in the second year. And that is a policy year. So if you enroll February 1st of next year, you're going to jump up to that higher level of benefit as well as the coinsurance. Now, our deductibles, these are going to look pretty similar on the plans. It's 0 on your preventive service. It's just 50 on your basic and major, those types 2 and 3. The preventive, before I do that, preventive plus. This is something that's also pretty unique to Ameritas, and it's a really big deal, and want to make sure everybody understands it, because again, you'll see it on all the plans. But whenever a client goes in for their preventive care, it's all taken care of. The preventive plus means none of that service counts towards the max benefits. So I go in, I do my cleanings, any preventive or type 1 service, none of it will count towards that $750 or $1,500 maximum. Those are both reserved for your basic and major services. So in a way, it's adding a little bit to the maximum benefit. But again, just kind of a real benefit knowing that your client goes in, sees an in-network provider, it's 100% covered. And again, none of it counts towards their maximums. So you can see here, we are a PPO. You can go in or out of network for service. There's going to be better value whenever your client chooses a network provider. And you see it here on the co-insurance. That remains at 100%. It reduces if you go out of network. Basic services, these start at 50% in network. They go up to 80 in the second. And then our major services, to kind of keep that lower price point, we do start this one here a little bit lower. It starts at 10% first year and then jumps up to 20% in the second. Major services on this plan are going to include things like crowns, bridges, dentures. I do want to point out it does not, and it is our one plan, only plan, that does not cover implants. So you got someone that needs a little bit more work, more things to be done there. As far as services, you want to lean towards one of the other plans we'll review. Now, credit for prior coverage on this plan means I would jump in day one at that 180/20. So that's what we mean by you graduate to those higher levels of co-insurance right out of the gate. All right, PrimeStar Boost. This plan, again, anyone can purchase it. I should stress that. Plans are available to any of those ages, but this one kind of built maybe more for your family. And the reason we say that, we included on the bottom there an ortho feature. So if you have children, anyone under age 19, they can use the orthodontics. There's also some other features here in your preventive category, the space maintainers for those 13 and under. So again, maybe a little bit more family plan, if you will. It starts first year at $1,500. That's the annual max per person. And then it jumps up to $2,000 in the second. Deductibles, again, same thing there, the 0 and then the 50 on the type 2 and 3. It also has this preventive plus feature. So remember, none of the preventive care counts towards the max benefit. It's 100% in network. It's 80 if you go out. And then your basic services here start at 65% first year, up to 80 in the second. That's got your fillings, simple extractions, the basic services. And then your majors. These start at 20% day one. So everything inside of that first year, major services are covered at 20% as soon as next day, and it jumps up to 50% in the second. Now, in this category, you can see here added a little bit more, comprehensive coverage, right? You got crowns, bridges, dentures, yes, the implants, also teeth whitening. Believe it or not, Ameritas, we now service more than 6 million members in our dental space. And teeth whitening was one of the more commonly requested items that didn't already exist in our plan. So felt it kind of applied here, and we added it to your PrimeStar Boost. So really popular feature and one of those added benefits that we talk about. Orthodontia starts at 15% and then up to 50% in the second year. And it is a lifetime benefit per person, per child, anyone under the age of 19 at $1,000. So again, credit for prior coverage here. I would jump into this plan at 180/50 as soon as day one. So nice feature, nice benefits there. This price point, you're going to usually see it, again, based on your zip code, maybe $38 to $45 is kind of the range that you'll see and find on it. And then the third and kind of final PrimeStar plan, it's the complete. This one, already mentioned it, but it's ranked as one of the top plans for seniors. So senior focus, senior in mind, and reason it's just a little bit richer benefit, higher co-insurance levels, and we've got that hearing benefit down there at the bottom. So you start at $2,500 first year, we go up to $3,000 in the second. Same thing on our deductible, 0 and then 50 for the basic and majors. 100% on your preventive, 90 if you're going out of network for it. But see over there, it's got that preventive plus included one last time. So none of the preventive care counts towards those maximums. Basic services start at 80. They go all the way up to 90% in the second year. And then your major services, once again, 20 first year, 50% in the second. This one, you've got the crowns, the bridges, dentures, and yes, implants. Notice teeth whitening is not on this one. If you want it, you got to go back to that Prime Star Boost. But really comprehensive coverage on this plan with really great coinsurance levels and solid annual maximums. It also does have hearing. So with this, it's $75 each year for a hearing exam. And then if your client needs it, $200, $300, or $400 per ear for hearing aids. Now, I know hearing aids can be expensive, but remember this, it's a dental plan that offers hearing aid reimbursement. There is no network for this. You go to any kind of qualified retailer, you can get, your client can get reimbursed $75 for the exam. And as soon as day one, I need hearing aids. So I go in and I can get $400, $200 per ear reimbursed to me. And it does not count towards that dental maximum. So just a nice extra benefit for anyone that might need it or wants to take advantage of it. Your Prime Star Complete, usually remember kind of good, better, best as far as maybe the plan features and kind of that price point will be our more expensive plan. You'll usually see this one in that mid 40, maybe to like $55 range on average, based on your zip code. Now, we do have a few extra plans to kind of talk to you about because these are specific to senior market sales. These are kind of private label, if you will, but kind of built by senior market sales, and you can only access and get them through your appointment with SMS. And these are a little bit more geared, again, for your senior client, but anyone can purchase, again, 18 and up. The maximum, first off, for your Protector Plus plan, it's $2,000 per person per benefit year, stays there, doesn't change. And it does have that Preventive Plus feature included once again. Same thing on your deductible, just $50 for the type 2 and 3. Your preventive services start at 100%. There's no reduction in or out of network. You can see here the basic services. It's kind of a 3-year grade, 60, 70, all the way up to 80% after that second year. Here's where it gets interesting too. Major services, 20, 40, 60. So this one gets as high as 60% in that third year on your major services. So really rich benefit as far as the coinsurance is concerned. Also has that hearing benefit included. Same one we just reviewed, $75 on an annual exam, and then hearing aid reimbursement. The GPM plan is another plan specifically available to you through SMS, and just a little bit different here as far as some of the features that you're going to see. But the maximum starts at 2,000, and then it kind of graduates up. 2,000, 2,500, all the way up to 3,000 after that second year. Also a little bit lower deductible. This one's your $25, and then your preventive services, it's 100% in or out of network, and then your basics have that grade again, right? The first, second, and third year. So 50, 65, and then 80%. Your major services, 20, 35, and 50. Crowns, bridges, dentures, implants, all covered, all part of both of these plans as well. Same hearing reimbursement as far as the exams concerned, as well as those hearing aids. So both really great plans, and both now have also been approved with that credit for prior coverage. So you can get the same thing, the same bump up to the highest level of coinsurance on each of these plans. So really solid options, really great benefits with just a little bit different twist in some of the benefits that are available to your client. This is just a little bit of a breakdown in how some of the sales work. You know, you're going to find a plan that you like best, that you're most comfortable with. But just as an example, a couple states jump out here, right? With SMS, the Prime Star is typically the most popular plan. They're at a little over 11% of the sales coming out of Florida. Texas, you do a really great job with that Protector Plus and those GPM plans. 11.9 and almost 14% of total sales on those plans coming from the state of Texas. So thought that might be valuable just to kind of check out. But again, plan availability is pretty solid and covered everywhere with in these products, exception to Washington State and again, Massachusetts. So if you're in Washington, you're going to want to lean towards one of those Primestar plans. But some of the breakdown for you and some of the things to kind of take a look at there. Now, we rolled through some of the benefits, some of the services that are covered. This is just kind of a general overview of what are some of the most popular, most common dental procedures. And we've got them here ranked by their dental code. Crowns, that's a big one, right? Very common and can be a very expensive claim for your clients. Routine exams, you've got implants kind of a little bit further down there, root canals. Any and all of these things you're going to kind of see as what's most common, what's most typical as far as claims experience for your clients. And of course, all of these covered inside of your Ameritas plans. Now, I want to point this out because it's also important, I think, that to help kind of highlight the network benefits with Ameritas. I haven't talked on it a lot yet, but Ameritas, we are one of the nation's largest networks. There's a few different ways you can measure that. There's access points, and then there's unique providers. Access points are where you go for your dental service. And today we've got more than 675,000 across the country. Not just the country, I guess, the US and now Mexico. If you measure us by unique providers, that's the actual number of dentists. We're right at about 139,000. So again, solid options, plenty of coverage for your clients to choose or find a network provider. Now, what's the real benefit by doing it? Well, remember that crown was one of the more common claims. And a crown can be pretty expensive depending upon where you live, but this case, we've got almost $1,200. So today I go into my dentist, they tell me I need a crown, and they tell me it's going to cost $1,194. Little bit of sticker shock there, so wish I had insurance. I go home tonight, I talk to Brian. Brian introduces me to Ameritas, enrolls me for coverage that starts as soon as tomorrow. Tomorrow, I go back into that same dentist who happens to be in the Ameritas network. Now, but because of our negotiated rate with those providers, the cost of that crown goes from $1,194 down to $647. See there, that's that third bullet, network provider. They give you 25 to 50% off their regular rates. And that's what we mean by that. The negotiated rate sometimes can be as high or as much as 50%. So before we even look at the insurance, just because you're an Ameritas client, you choose to go to an Ameritas network provider, the cost of the crown goes down significantly. Now we look at the insurance itself. And remember, a crown was 20% as far as major service on something like that Primestar Complete. So we're covering 20%. That means $518 is the real cost to your client day one. And if it's year two, or maybe they qualify with that credit for prior coverage, we're going to cover 50% of it. So that means $324 cost to your client. So that's significant savings. Actually, that year two savings, 73%. So that's real money. That's a real example. And again, I think real benefit for your clients whenever they do choose a network option. All right, pivot a little bit here and going to talk about a couple of the vision plans. We offer two. And the biggest difference in the vision is really the provider. Whenever we're speaking to the dental network, that is Ameritas network. Whenever we look at the vision, there's VSP and there's IMED. And that's kind of your big differentiators here. You see on the Primestar Choice, it uses VSP as its network. Now, deductibles, just $10. You can see here the eyeglasses, they're covered in full. The frames up to $150, or in lieu of it, the contacts at $150. And the frequency over here on the right-hand side, it's every 12 months. So you got clients that like to get glasses every year. Great. This might be the plan for them. Or if they choose one of those providers, they go to Costco, they go to Sam's Club, Walmart, any of those notables, they might want to lean towards the Primestar Choice. That's the network. Now, the other option would be your Primestar Select. This one uses IMED as its retailer. A little bit higher on the deductible, it's 25. You can see those glasses, contacts still covered. It's 100 and, I'm sorry, the frames. The lens is covered in full. The frames and the contacts, $130. Frequency is a little less on this one. The exam's every 12 months, but those lenses and frames, it's every 24. But you'll see that in the price as well. With this one, it's usually around $11, whereas the Prime Star Choice that we just reviewed is typically about 16. So a little less expensive, but again, a little less frequency. But a lot of times, again, you're going to see, I think the network kind of dictate maybe where you want to lean on this plan. I go to Lens Crafters, I probably want to choose the Prime Star Select. So we do offer, important to note here, dental and vision on a standalone basis. So you can sell just the dental, you can sell just the vision, or whenever you're in your quote and enrollment tool, you can bundle the two up together and pick up the coverage at the same time. All right, one more little pivot here. We're going to look at some of the different tools that are available to you at Ameritas, starting with that ease of enrollment. Now, if you're already using or have used Ameritas, thank you. But you probably already have, or you've used your quote and enrollment tool. We'll provide it to you whenever you appoint, but it is your link. It is specific to you. So make sure that you save it, you mark it, bookmark it, whatever, but it's your link. Anything done from it is being credited back to you as the agent of record. But it really is a super simple, easy process. It's where you quote and enroll clients. And quoting is easy. Remember, there's no waiting periods. There's next day benefit. All you need to do to really get started is just drop in that zip code, because the zip code will only pull the price specific to that area and the plan that's available in your area based on the zip code. You'll navigate through the quote. You'll see the different plans that are available, the prices. You can review those features with your clients. And then you select the plan and you go into the enrollment. That's what this page right here looks like for you. You can see I've already picked out a plan. It looks like it's the Prime Star Lite and that IMED for the vision. A little bit small, but you can see it up there top. This would be kind of the page one of the application. It all starts with the coverage effective date. Here's where you can elect to begin that policy as soon as tomorrow, push it out as much as 3 months if you need to. We'll ask for your client email. Don't have to provide it. You can substitute in there if you need, but do hope we get it, just because once you roll through the enrollment, we're going to send temporary ID card to your client. We can still mail those out if they want, but they'll get them right there at conclusion of the enrollment if they want. Now, enrollment, it's guaranteed issue. You'll also see there in step number 3, that's where you enter in your credit for prior coverage. That's where you give us all that information, the prior carrier name, termination date, plan number, all that to be able to bump up to that next level of coinsurance. Applicant information, is really basic. We're going to ask for name, address, date of birth, some really simple stuff. We do not ask for, we do not need, and we will not require social security numbers. So that's kind of a benefit in its own. And then as you get a little further down, you'll see the payment information. This is where you're just going to enter in either credit card, checking, however you want, and the best way for your client to pay for the plan. So a lot of flexibility there on your payment options as well. Credit card, checking, savings. Now, do note, whatever date you've elected as your coverage start date, that effective date is the first date that we're going to draft your client. So if I set it up for March 15th, policy goes in effect March 15th, we're going to look to draft the policy March 15th. And probably should have pointed this one out earlier whenever we were going through some of the plans, but like that Prime Star Lite as an example, I mentioned a lot of people will use it to maybe kind of supplement other coverages they have. Ameritas pays primary. So everything submitted to us, we pay it as a primary claim. So another way to say that, we don't coordinate benefit. We don't care if you have other coverages or whatever submitted to us, again, we pay as primary. So kind of important to note, included there for your enrollment. So It really is a quick, easy process. Once you go through this, you can enroll your client maybe in just 4 or 5 minutes. That's simple. In fact, you can take your quote and enrollment link. You can even send it to a client and have them enroll themselves for coverage if you want or they choose. Here's a few other resources that are available. It's our agent marketing site, explore.ameritas.com/agent marketing. You can click on that to access it. But once you land there, there's a couple tabs up at the top. One's agent resources, some additional training tools, information there for you. There's another button called share with clients. That's what you're looking at over here on the right-hand side. And this is where you can access any and all of the plan brochures, maybe any state variations, stuff like that. And it's available in both English and Spanish. So this is the material that you can use as your own, just familiarize yourself with the plan, or again, share it with your client. Further down on that page, I do want to point out, you'll find some really good stuff there too. Things like social media marketing, where you can drop different things onto your Facebook, your LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you market, wherever you might want to market more of. You can grab those, kind of use them as your own, just to let clients know that you're offering dental and vision. So some really great tools to kind of take advantage of out there as well. One of the tabs up at the top of that page was Producer Portal. We continue to make enhancements to this, but this is where you do need to log in. So far, your link, you don't need to log in. That agent marketing site, you don't need to log in. Producer Portal, you do, because this is where you're going to register and you can review and look at your book of business. You can update your EFT information. You can download commission statements. You can even order ID cards for your clients if you want. So just different tools and things you can access inside of your Producer Portal. Now, the next big step, if you haven't already, it's getting appointed. So just reach out to your senior market sales team. Let them know that you need to get on board with Ameritas. If you've already done this, at some point in time, you've gotten an email from us. You would have received a welcome email. It's going to have your link, again, specific to you to both quote and enroll clients. You also get your agent ID that you can register and sign in for your portal. But that link really is the most important thing, because again, it's your link. It's going to have your name in the top right-hand corner. Just always make sure that it does, because again, that's how we're crediting you for the sale. But once you've got your link, you're ready to quote, you're ready to enroll, and now you're even ready to market maybe a little bit more of the plans, because it's a link. And with a link, you can do a whole lot of things. You can contact your client like, hey, I know you were interested in dental and vision. Here are some options for you. Send it off to them. You can include your link in your email signature. In fact, I know this idea came to us from an SMS agent, but you can even create a QR code and add it to maybe different printed materials, because it's a link and it's really easy to build and make a QR code, but it just helps you market your site and kind of let it work for you 24 hours a day. So here's an example of one of these, and mine's now a little bit dated, but I did say we were rated best dental insurance for seniors 23 and 24. So we took one of those snapshots, built a QR code out of it, included some contact information, just kind of a make your own little postcard, just to, again, kind of market dental and vision. But you take a snapshot of that, you land on mine, just kind of for quoting purpose or demonstration purpose, my quote enrollment link. So you can do the same. You can make a business card out of something like this, little postcard, whatever, but a real kind of creative way to, again, just make clients know that you offer dental insurance, provide them your contact information for assistance, or again, even let them visit your site to do it themselves. All right, last kind of thing here, also a little bit new from us, but one we'll continue to make enhancements for, but it's an app for your clients. So with this, once a client does enroll, they'll get those ID cards, but you can also get them signed up on the app where they can search for providers, view their dental benefits, process claims, access copies of those ID cards. So just a lot of different things to kind of help them and service them after the sale. So some really valuable information to that. It is a little bit newer, so I just wanted to make sure and include it and let you know that it's out there and available for download either from on iOS or Androids. So quick review, some things that I think help Ameritas stand out. Best in class products. I really do think our plans are, some of the best around. Of course, I'm biased, but unique features, credit for prior coverage. We have one of the nation's largest networks. We've got tools with an easy enrollment process out there for you, for your clients, and other tools to hopefully help and support and grow your dental and vision business. So just ask when you're thinking of it, you think of Ameritas, look our way. Dental and vision, it's what we do, and we hope that you do it with Ameritas. So, Brian, with that, I know this is the part that I've been most excited about, and probably should have let you lead with it. But I love your dental quoting tool, and I'll turn it over to you to kind of walk us through it.
No, thanks, Chad. I appreciate it, and no, thanks for all the great insight to Ameritas. If you're on the call and not appointed with Ameritas or selling with them currently, make sure you contact SMS and get in touch with your marketer. They do great on every aspect of their business, from customer to agent support. So, no, great partner, Chad. And we appreciate all your support. I wanted to take a moment to touch on a proprietary dental quoting and enrollment tool that's offered through SMS exclusively. It's a newer tool, so it might not be known to everybody on the call. So I wanted to make sure I took the time to give a high level comparison of that tool, what it looks like. So just a little background and context to quotedental.com. It's the first of its kind. It's a multi-carrier quoting and comparison tool that includes estimated out-of-pocket cost for dental plans. You also have the ability to have those side-by-side comparisons for all participating SMS dental carriers. You get full cost of plan based on benefits and level of dental needs. You get to show coverage over time. So whether that be the first day or over the course of 24 months, you can compare in-network and out-of-network benefits, and you can also locate in-network dentist as well. And so I will show you a little flavor. And Chad, did you give me controls by chance? Oh, there we go. I think I'm just a little delayed. Thank you. Okay. So as far as quoting goes, you can quickly identify the most competitive plans in your area just by putting in their zip code, the consumer or client's birth date and the effective date, and whether the health of that client as well. And so you can see it'll show it ranked first through third. We can see here that Ameritas is ranked first for their Prime Star Lite product, and it will give a breakdown of those costs of in-network and out-of-network. You can advise the risk to that client of being uninsured. So you can see here what that client could expect to pay out of pocket as far as not being insured. So it gives you a better opportunity to have that consultative approach with your clients to ensure you're giving them the best service. You also have access to documents, all the materials that Chad was going over. You can see those that are accessible through quotedental.com as well. And I also mentioned previously about looking up those dentists that are in network. So you have just all those tools quickly accessible through one site. Just makes it quick and easy for you as an agent. And then on the quoting topic, you can better serve your clients with those needs. So like depending upon those needs, so if they have a high need of dental insurance, moderate, or if they're very healthy, it gives you a breakdown on Quote Dental of what that looks like. And again, mentioning the comparison of over time, and then that side-by-side comparison will give you a breakdown of a graph to show what that consumer can expect to pay over the duration of a 24-month period. So this is just a great tool to, if nothing else, be able to quote dental plans in your area for your clients. You can, like Chad mentioned with the Pearl, you can implement that Pearl into the Quote Dental site to quickly access and enroll those clients from quotedental.com. If you have any questions about Quote Dental or want to get access to it, just contact your marketer. If you're not currently working with SMS, just contact our Medicare Solutions line. You can access that on the seniormarketsales.com website and ask to get contacted with a marketer, and they'll walk you through the onboarding process and get you access to quotedental.com. But that's everything I had on Quote Dental. I see some questions in the chat. There was one chat I didn't know. I don't know if you have access to the Q&A, but it was asking, what is the out-of-network based on, UCR or something else?
Yeah, good question. So there are really only 5 states where we still operate on a UNC, the usual and customary. So the majority of states, we're going to reimburse out of network on MAB, the maximum allowable benefit. So yes, good question. And I should know the 5 off the top of my head, and I'm going to struggle here. Alaska, Georgia, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Alabama, but there are 5 states. You'll see some of those referenced on the agent marketing site as the differentiators on which ones are kind of MAB, and which ones would be our few remaining UNC states.
Okay, very good. And then I had another question here on price points. Price points will really depend upon that client's location. So use Quote Dental, use Ameritas' site to quote those clients to get more accurate pricing. But Chad, I don't know if you can advise on that, maybe just a overall pricing on based on the different plans.
It's a really good question. So it does. We're zip code based, so you'll see some variance from one side of the country to the other. That's where I always recommend Quote Dental. Go there, check it out, or just straight to your Ameritas Pearl. But zip code's always a great way to start it, because again, back to that whole MAB or UNC, whatever zip code you put in, it's only going to grab the plan available in that area and the pricing specific to it, because it can vary from one zip code to the next. It's also why we created multiple plans, just to try and give different benefits and different price points, trying to kind of cover anybody's budget and the services they might need and want, whether it's PrimeStar or those SMS private label options.
Okay, great. And then I just had one other side note to make, but I just want to take a moment just to say thank you again, Chad, for taking the time out of your day to go over this. This was a lot of great content. Hopefully everybody on the call found it useful. My last comment was going to be just about that we'll send out the recording of this video. It'll also be accessible on the SMS website. But if you have any other questions regarding this training or working with SMS, contact your marketer or contact SMS, and we'll get you set up and where you need to be.
I'll second that, if you don't mind, Brian. But yeah, before I go, again, I think we do dental better than anybody, and I know SMS is right there as well as far as the organization. You guys are great, your team, and if anybody is new out there or thinking of Ameritas, be sure you're doing it through SMS. Again, I said it, but our largest distributor, and it means they do it really well and do a great job with it. So
yep.
thanks,
Brian. Chad. Have a great day, everybody.